All right. So in chapter one, I tell a little bit about my background, my story. As I shared, I come from a pretty big family. This is the family when I was younger. Guess which one I am? Yeah, that's me right there. Number four or five kids. Like I said, mom and dad, medical professionals, grew up in the medical model. So very much inside of all the benefits and all the perks that come with that. And there's lots of them. Very loving family, so supportive, you know, really so many amazing things about my experience as a kid. And but one of the things that I share in the book is I kind of grew up on sports fields. I mean, I was a soccer player, basketball player, and baseball player. There's my little Red Sox hat and my Red Sox jersey. The turmoil as a Yankee fan was real, man. But I played sports since I could stand, and I loved it. And as I said, there's so many injuries that come and aches and pains. And the first one was my elbow, and I was a pitcher, pitched for my little league baseball team for 4 or 5 years, and that was the first thing to go. By the time I got to high school, it was pretty much shot. I could literally couldn't do this back then. To the point, like I explained, I mean, I couldn't even throw a ball with it. Like I was throwing it like this because I couldn't bend my elbow. It was pretty awful. At one point in time, I could barely write. Not good. So I stopped playing baseball at a young age, and then was playing soccer at a pretty high level, and basketball. And as my career continued, I I had to stop playing soccer because I had a knee problem. And then I kind of limped myself through literally my high school basketball career to the point where we were a month away from the end of the season, had a couple games in a tournament, and I twisted my ankle, another bad ankle sprain, and was out of commission. I also had a thumb problem. I mean, it was not pretty. I always injured, and finished my high school basketball career ended about a month before the season ended, and I was about 40 points shy of scoring 1,000 points in high school, which was just brutal for me, especially at the end of my high school career, and kind of being that close, and then I just couldn't grab it. Right, not fun. And I had to play. I stopped playing soccer because of knee. I got recruited to play basketball for Tufts University. Went to Tufts, tried to get back into shape and health, but just constantly plagued with knee and ankle, and the elbow was still an issue. But around this time, I was really learning about working out. I mean, I dove into training my body at an incredibly high level. I went to so many different seminars, studied with the top strength coaches that were practicing at that point. I named some of them in the book: Paul Chek, Ian King, Charles Poliquin, National Academy of Sports Medicine, National Strength and Conditioning Association. I mean, I went all in on understanding fitness, and we'll just call it the physical rehabilitation and fitness model. And I got to a point where I was wicked strong. I mean, I was definitely, as I say, a Jersey meathead. Looked the part, really big, in shape, moving a lot of weight around in the gym, and had that moment in New York City on the Upper East Side at Sports Club LA. And I was doing a military press with a buddy of mine, and went to press this. It was 315 pounds, a lot of weight to press over your head. And I'll never forget pressing that weight over my head and completed that rep. And I really thought in that moment, I was like, oh my God, I finally have overcome all of my issues. I'm finally strong. I'm finally capable. And got off that bench, took 4 steps, and my whole right arm just seized up like this. I mean, I couldn't move it. I had to walk around with this hand, my other arm supporting it. It was brutal. I remember calling my dad, and I'm like, I think my elbow exploded. Help, And so I went to my orthopedic that week. And honestly, when I said in the book that he was on my speed dial, I was joking. Called him, got in there, and really expected to be in surgery that week. And took the x-rays, did the evaluation, and that was the moment that changed my life, right? X-rays look good, right? I'm in excruciating pain. After evaluating my elbow, the x-rays look good. I don't see anything wrong with your elbow. I just was mind blown by it. And for whatever reason in that moment, it had such a profound influence on me, because that really occurred to me in that moment. It's like, wow, these guys don't have all the answers. Like, maybe the medical model doesn't have all the answers. And that's where I really started to question things, where the questioning began. And the whole journey began, because at that point, I really took everything that I was told, all the things that I was told was healthy, was right. This is a good exercise for this. This is the best thing to eat. This is the best thing for your, like, whatever the standard model was for taking care of the physical body, the systemic body, and the mind. I just questioned all of it. I started to ask the question, wait, why are we recommending this? How did we get here? And that's really what started the journey to creating the vitality paradigm. And so in chapter 2, I break down, after diving into those 3 spaces of physical rehabilitation, systemic, and the mental emotional, I dive into, well, let me get to the foundational principles as to why we recommend this to people to when they're trying to get strong for baseball. Why do we recommend this to people when they have a knee injury? Why do we recommend to this people when they have an ankle injury? Why do we recommend this if someone's trying to why are we telling people to eat these foods? Why are salads the answer? Why are we telling people not to eat sugar? Why are we telling people that whole wheat's good? Like, why? And so I just went crazy asking why questions, and found people that could answer the questions in a specific and principle-based way. They didn't just say, well, salad, it's good for you, it's roughage. It's like, yeah, I just didn't settle for those answers. Or it's like, yeah, we need to do that because the knee's weak and we got to strengthen it. It's like, I don't even define strength. What do you mean? So on and so forth. Then the mental emotional, same thing. Why are we telling people to take these deep breaths when they feel anxiety? Why are we telling people to focus on peace, joy, and love? Why are we telling people to avoid and manage stress? And why are we telling them to do these things to manage it? Like, I wanted to understand. And so I took deep dives into all 3 of those spaces. And when I say deep dives, I mean deep dives. I mean 10 years plus in each one of these spaces, not only going in there to learn, but also applying everything to myself before I even tried anything with a client. And so this is over 20 years of very intense practical application on myself and others. And as I share in the book, like, my bias with everything I'm sharing with you in this book is what gets results, period, end of story. And that's just through myself and the thousands of people I've worked with. So let's jump into chapter 2 summary video, where I break down the foundational flaws of fitness and physical rehabilitation, systemic care and nutrition, and the mental, emotional mindset space.